We started very well. We started with a game plan of about us, and it worked. Scored a good goal, and then just sat back in a little bit. Whether it was a little bit of fatigue, having 3 games in a week for some, I don't know, because we worked hard again in the week training, and then got in at half time, readdressed it, and started the same again, and looked to be affecting the game how we want to do. But then a bit of naivety at the end. Still some young lads, and they're learning some real steep lessons here, aren't they? But we haven't got time for that. We need to see that out, and then it's a perfect away performance. And the frustration is when you're playing catch up a little bit. You have sort of 10 or 12 big chances Tuesday, and you should win at home, and then you're winning away. Yeah, it hurts, but listen, I will not shy away from the fact that those boys are giving everything. We know it's a challenge, even against a team that's probably not a fancied team and not a huge club in the league, in inverted commas. Altrincham are still a very good outfit with some good players, and they've recruited players. So it's all these games are a challenge. As I say, it hurts, but the players have got to move on quick.
There were a lot of ups and downs in that game, wasn't there? Particularly sort of Charlie Wakefield, Johnson, they had to move sides. Yeah. Just a learning curve for these players in different shapes?
Having to take Lawson off at the death because he was cramping up, and also Chori off at the end because he was cramping up, doesn't help. I'll admit that, it doesn't help. But players that come on have got to step up, and the younger lads have got to become leaders, and that's what I've said in the changing room. You've got to become a leader quickly. And maybe it was just a bit of communication at the end where you sit back in and allow a 2v1, which doesn't need to happen. It's a poor bit of play from us, and it's cost us dearly. And I said to the boys in there, I'm big enough and ugly enough to take it. I'm disappointed for them because they've given everything again.
Yeah, and were you surprised to get 82 minutes out of Lawson Diaz?
Yeah, he was excellent. I think he, especially with having a booking pretty early on, you've got to be careful in those instances, and I think we got just about as much as we could without it being dangerous. Because if he plays the last sort of 10 and pulls his calf, it's another 3-6 weeks out, whatever it may be. So I'll reflect tomorrow and say that it was almost the perfect away performance, but almost is not good enough, and those players that play in the game next Saturday will be determined to eradicate these errors.
And you've spoken about the 2 goals that you're disappointed conceding, but Jimmy Touré came on and changed it, didn't he? Because Altrincham came out way better than you in the second half. Yeah,
they're a bright side, there's no doubt about it. But we're a young side in the main, and as I say, there's players that are still learning the craft. Jimmy, at full fitness, is a real asset, and we've been sort of bedding him in gently, but yeah, today he showed what he can do, and it was something out of nothing, and that's the type of player he is.
And is it about those leaders that you've got, Staunton, Diaz? Is it about them picking up the younger players after what will be disappointing conceding late?
It will. They do that anyway. That's natural to them. But for our situation at our club now, the young lads have to be leaders. So you can't wait for somebody else to be a leader. You've got to become one. So it's always difficult to reflect straight after a game because you're hurting. But as I say, it's a point on the road. Just got to make sure that when we go back to our home ground, we're aggressive and we get 3 points.
And just lastly, you spoke about a few of the players getting a little niggle, getting crampy. Are you pleased to have a full week of training ahead of you? Definitely.
It's been a tough week for us. There's no doubt about it. Playing against some good teams, and they deserve more. The lads, for sure. I don't think there's any denying that. I think today we conceded a lot of possession, but we knew we would. On Tuesday, we get the 3 points. This point becomes very good, doesn't it? Whereas now it's always catch up, and that's why we're so disappointed. So dust ourselves off, get training Monday.
Thanks for your time, Chris.